Hello, we are here. It is Monday, and today's coffee is pretty good. This is some pretty good coffee. See, as you know, the brew that I got recently, it's not that great, So sometimes it's just a hit or miss depending on how I mix it up together. But today, it's pretty good. And today, we got a whole lot going on. We got a whole lot of things to cover today. It's a lot. You already know now we are in the thick. Well, the general election kind of hasn't started yet, but we're pretty much getting there. So now we got Vincent. What's going on, brother? Julio, what's going on? So now one of the things that we're really going to be paying a lot of attention to, especially, whenever polling is close and within a margin of error, one of the things that you're going to want to pay a lot of attention to are things like voter registration. How many people are actually signing up to vote around the country, how much money is being raised, especially in small dollar amounts, stuff like that give good indications, again, especially when polling is close and within the margin of error. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on stuff like that, as well as again, pretty much everything else that's important along those lines. We got some information today. Biden campaign, they came into the new year with a whole lot of money, a lot of small dollar donations, and Vivek. Apparently, Donald Trump says something against Vivek. We got some stuff to go over, so let's go ahead and get to it. Let's see what we going. Oh no, what is this? No, I don't want to watch it on Instagram. I'm gonna have to open this up on something else, probably with some Candace Owens video. Yeah, hold on. We're gonna start with that. Let me reach this out. We got Candace Owens griping and complaining about Madonna. I think she said she don't want to see that no more. She's not trying to look at Madonna no more. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, we got Fritza. We got Nat. We got Teddy. Stoned Assassin. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Hassan, what's going on, brother? How you doing? I'm doing well, man. It's good to see you here. All right, so let's check this out. I don't really know what she's talking about, but apparently she just kind of don't want to see her touring anymore. I don't know. Let's see what's up.
Of Madonna, it is definitely time to put grandma in a home. She doesn't have a remarkable voice, but I want to be clear that Madonna is now 65 years old. 65 years old. I mean, she is now qualified to get the senior discount at IHOP. But rather than sitting down with her grandchildren and getting that discount at IHOP, Madonna has decided that she is going to keep being what she perceives in her head is sexy. And of course, it's anything but. I mean, amazing. Literally, that is my 2-year-old dancing on vacation. And that is Madonna, which you have to pay to go see her on tour. Is it maybe time to hang it up and just go to IHOP with your grandkids?
Who cares if people still buying tickets to go see the tour?
Acknowledging that makes you an ageist. It makes you an ageist to recognize that watching her move around on stage trying to be sexy makes you uncomfortable in the same way.
But what about all the people that's buying her tickets to go see her though? Like, what do you mean? Like, if that was the case, if nobody wanted to see her do that, then she wouldn't be selling any tickets. On top of the fact that, you could just not watch. This isn't something that you have to see. You know what I mean? This isn't like an instance like that. But, we know what Candace Owens does for a living. This is what she does. But, it's like, girl, but ain't nobody ever seen you hit no dance moves nowhere. Like, what do you mean? Like, she's 65 and she doing her thing and she dancing and she having a good time. Like, who gives a fuck? But here we go.
Way that you would feel uncomfortable if you watched your own grandma do this. Bitch, I'm a daughter. It's like zombie land. It is why people are now saying accurately, as I have said for years, that she more resembles Jigsaw than a human being.
Hold up. All right, let's see. Did that help with the microphone? Alex, did that help with the microphone? I just saw that you mentioned that. I just said it. I just set it to the new microphone. But yeah, no, it's like Candace, you really people are choosing to buy her tickets, and when people go there, they're not necessarily going to like a strip club, like they're going to see Madonna, like they're going to sing along with her music, they're going to you know what I'm saying, they're going to enjoy themselves. She just be hating on anybody who enjoys themselves and has a good laugh. I mean, a good life. You feel me? Like her ass was, she was but there, her whole thing with Travis Kelce. Her thing with Travis Kelce. And she just be hating on Taylor. Oh, my bad. I was reading the comments. But one of the things that she said with about Taylor Swift with Travis Kelce is she was like, I remember something along the lines of she remembers when she was young and immature and used to like music. Like, you don't like music no more, Candace? Like you don't like music no more? Hold on, I just turned up the volume a little bit. It's tripping now. It may just be tripping a little bit, but hopefully that helped out. But yeah, nah, that's I mean, how unsurprising. Talking about some she should go, she should be at IHOP. Like Madonna is wealthy as hell. What's Madonna's net worth? I'm about to look up Madonna's net worth right now because I don't know. Hold on, let's see. $850 million. Her net worth is $850 million. Like, why the hell would she be at an IHOP somewhere? Candace Owens is just a hater. But everybody knows who she is. Everybody knows that that's what she does for a living. But that type of content is for like them red pill manosphere dudes who just are always mad at women no matter what they do. No matter what they do. But yeah, there you go. We started off with Candace Owens being upset at Madonna being successful, basically. So now we got Speaker of the House. Hold on. I don't think I opened up no, this isn't the right one. My bad, y'all. Here we go. Speaker of the House saying any federal employees who are going to participate in a walkout over what's happening in Gaza should, what did he say? House Speaker Mike Johnson calls to fire any federal workers who take part in planned walkout over Gaza policy. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that nice of them? But yeah, no, that's really some BS. Hold up, my bad. I'm getting something up off this screen real quick. And then I'll get into this. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Federal employees, quote, deserve to be fired if they participate in a planned walkout to protest President Biden's handling of Israel's war against Hamas. House Speaker Mike Johnson said Sunday. The Louisiana Republican made the statement on X, Twitter. He made it while on X, apparently. Commenting on AL Monitor News article that reported workers in at least 22 agencies plan to protest Biden's policy involving Gaza by joining the work stoppage Tuesday. Any government worker who walks off the job to protest U.S. support for our ally Israel is ignoring their responsibility and abusing the trust of taxpayers. Quote, they deserve to be fired. This is, clearly this is not true. I mean, ignoring their responsibility and abusing the trust of taxpayers. Well, I mean, that's just an absurdly false statement from the sense of not every taxpayer is just in blanket support of Israel. one of the biggest issues that Biden has, for instance, with his reelection campaign is with the Muslim American population because of what's happening in Gaza. So again, obviously this is a statement that's not true, but also they deserve to be fired. Like, okay, bro, this dude is just weird. Like, he's like, you know, he's this supposedly this stand-up guy, but really he's just another Republican jackass. Like, it was a video of him crying because like gay people exist. Basically, he was like, "Oh God, just please give us the guidance to go." And he was like shedding tears because, you know, he was filled with the Holy Spirit. Like, it was this who Mike Johnson is. And Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to get rid of him. She doesn't want him anymore because apparently he's too buddy with the Democrats, which is hilarious. But here we go. A group of dozens of federal workers, billing itself as Feds United for Peace, is reportedly planning to hold a, quote, day of mourning that would mark the 100th day of Israel's military campaign in Gaza. The Jewish state launched the military action after Hamas terrorists slaughtered 1,200 and kidnapped more than 200 Israelis during a sneak attack on October 7th. Hamas-backed health ministry said nearly 24,000 Palestinians have been killed over the last 3 months. Israel, well, this is from the New York Post. That's why it's being written like this. But Israel's military said it has killed about 9,000 Palestinians. But yeah, no, the toll is higher than that. But yes, that's what Mike Johnson said. He said, if you are planning to stand in solidarity with people who are being slaughtered and need support and need recognition from those around the world. Oh, hold on, we got Christina in the building. I'm glad that I looked over just when I did. Christina, hello. Good to have you here. And we got Alonzo in the building, Twin Dragon. We got quite a bit of people in here. I'm glad I looked up though. Distracted Gardner. Oh, well, I'm glad that you put that in there in terms of how it's supposed to work from that regard. Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that. But in terms of, you know, just again the narrative and how it's pushed, like, you know, Israel are the ones who are in the worst position. Obviously, that's BS because Israel is quite stacked with its list of allies, and the death toll continues to rise for the Palestinians. Additionally, members of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the Naval Research Laboratory, the National Park Service, the Food and Drug Administration, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the Environmental Protection Agency are also expected to protest during the workday, per the outlet. Quote, what you're seeing with this effort is something very unusual, and that is for the dissent to be manifested via a physical act. But then they serious about it, you feel me? Like, because people ain't playing about it. But no, I'm glad that you pointed that out, just in terms of how the federal agencies are supposed to work in active protesting. So doing it on the job versus off the job in terms of ethically. So I'm glad that you pointed that out. But yes, Mike Johnson, they deserve to be fired. That's what he says. If you take part in these protests, you deserve to lose your job. Let's see what's up. But yeah, if they do go ahead and do that, considering the fact, yeah, I think you're right, Trent, with that. You know, again, just federal employees not supposed to do stuff like that, then that just makes it an even stronger statement if they do go ahead and go through with it. Let's see, what should we do next? Because we got a bit of things over. Oh, okay. So check this out. It's become more difficult to identify motivations behind mass casualty attacks. 8 attacks were examined, according to the Department of Homeland Security. A toxic brew of ideological extremism blended with rage, anger, and violent tendencies is making it increasingly difficult for authorities to identify motivations behind mass casualty attacks in America, according to a new assessment by the Department of Homeland Security. And more when we look at like analyses such as this, it continuously points to the problem being there are way too many guns in this country, and it's way too easy for people to legally purchase them. The confidential analysis distributed to law enforcement on January 10th and obtained by ABC News describes the growing challenge posed by perpetrators who, quote, espoused and engaged with an array of narratives, often online, likely fueling their mobilization to violence. Those attackers' range of beliefs made it easier to escape the long-standing templates law enforcement uses to catch would-be threats, and made it harder for police to intervene or secure potential targets. And again, obviously, we can point to other issues like political extremism, and a lot of that stemming from things like economic turmoil and people losing faith in institutions and all types of other things like that, different types of effects of policies over time, what have you. But again, if people didn't have such easy access to weapons, then we wouldn't have, military grade weapons. Then we wouldn't have so many casualties like we do. We just wouldn't. It wouldn't be impossible. I mean, it wouldn't be possible, rather. All right, let's see what's up. Where were we? Okay. Since 2018, we have observed mass casualty attacks in which the perpetrators held grievances. We just read that. Okay. Examining 8 attacks in the past 5 years, which collectively killed 47 people and injured nearly 130 more, the Department of Homeland Security's analysis found the recent attackers influenced by mixed factors complicate target identification for law enforcement. Understanding what spurs a mass killer to action is a crucial piece of the intervention puzzle. It is. And that just makes this even more of a disaster because, we're 15 days into the new year. And how many mass shootings have we had technically now? I think last week I saw something like 8. I don't know, but it's definitely too many, it's definitely way too many. So here we go. Let's see. We can no longer afford to look at emerging threats the same way we looked at them 10 years ago, said John Cohen, a former senior official in the Department of Homeland Security, now an ABC News contributor. Quote, individuals who now engage in mass casualty attacks will typically adopt a blend of ideological beliefs and personal grievances that they cultivate through the consumption of online content. And if that is not recognized by investigators, they aren't going to understand what they are seeing. Said they all had personal connections to their targets and exhibited a fascination with violence, judging from. And then what we see too is often, if not every time, people carry out these mass attacks, they have manifestos and stuff like that online. But at the end of the day, we simply have too much of an easy access to legal weapons. Sure, people would still be able to get them if they, like if we had more common sense gun laws. And at the end of the day, when you look at the surveys on this, pretty much everybody's on board with common sense gun laws because it just makes sense. But yeah, there we go. It's getting more difficult to identify motivations, but it's just such a mess. It's just such a goddamn mess. And guns, man, guns, because even with all the issues that we have, like if people couldn't just go purchase weapons so easily, oh man, buy this semi-automatic rifle, but all right, let me see. Biden-Harris enter election year with historic $117 million in cash. The campaign has grown its cash on hand for 3 consecutive quarters. And again, like I mentioned when we started this out, for elections, especially elections as big as a presidential one, you always have to look at things like voter registration because, people who vote actually go through the trouble to register to vote will probably go do it. and how much money is being raised, especially from small dollar donors, like stuff like that. And especially when you have polling that's very close and within the margin of error. So again, like the race, in reality, nobody's running away with this. It's still very close, and it's going to stay that way for quite some time. And I don't really, one of the things that we really have to wait for is um, Trump's convictions or not with these indictments and with all these felonies. I don't see how in the world he could just, he's not going to get away with 91 felonies. How? And especially with his immunity arguments and the way he behaves, he's going to get convicted of, maybe 30, 40, 50 times over. Who knows? But we'll have to wait to see what happens with that. And everything else, you got to take politics one day at a time, but especially when it's like this. I mean, these two guys are neck and neck. So here we go. The Biden-Harris campaign raised more than $97 million in the final quarter of 2023 and enters the election year with $117 million in cash on hand, the highest total amassed by any Democratic candidate in history at this point in the cycle. The campaign has grown its cash on hand for 3 consecutive quarters, from $77 million in Q2 to $91 million in Q3, and now $117 million at the end of Q4, raising $235 million since launching in April. December was the strongest grassroots funding month so far. And I read on another website the average donation was like $41 or something like that in terms of the small dollar donors. But one thing that has been true in recent elections is Democrats have been outperforming in the polls, and especially when you let's not even talk about like Biden versus Trump, when it just comes to like down ballot races, like House races and stuff. I expect Democrats to continue to do well, not just because the tides are turning in terms of younger generations getting elected, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, but also because the reversal of Roe v. Wade and all these, again, red states passing these 6-week bans has proven to be a horrible political move. And it's proven to cause people to continuously show up to the polls. And it's something that Democrats can easily campaign on. We're watching, more and more women run for office because of the reversal of Roe, or if they live in states like Texas where they had to go through. We covered a woman, I can't recall her name, but I'm pretty sure she's from Texas. She's running for House. That's going to continue to make a difference. But polling really hasn't been that accurate for a number of years. And, it hasn't been horrible, but it really hasn't shown that true of a picture in the end for people who actually show up to the polls. So I'll be curious to see how that's fixed, like maybe like how they contact people, who they have in their groups. I don't know, but that is an issue. But that's one of the reasons why you have to always look at stuff like this. Okay, I'm trying to see if because I looked at it I looked on a different website and it doesn't have it on here, but I'm pretty sure the average small dollar donation was like $40 or $41 or something like that. Nonetheless, again, Biden and Trump are, neither one of them. It really can't. When you look at everything, you can't objectively say that either one of these people are just have a hand and a control on the election run. And it's still too early. You know what I mean? It still is. And politics happens one day at a time. But we're going to keep our eyes peeled for stuff like that. And two, one of the things I'm really interested in is to be talking about, house campaigns for more and more people who are everyday, regular working people who are running for office in places. Because again, like I mentioned, the reversal of Roe v. Wade is inspiring a lot of women to run for office on that issue. All right, let's see what's up. Where are we? What should we do now? Okay, no, we don't need to do that one. Okay, that I ain't gonna get a subscription to this website, but there was this thing up about a woman who she had been a cashier at McDonald's for I don't know, decades, and she retired at 84 doing that. Like it just seemed like I read it over the phone, but I had to subscribe on this, which I'm not doing. But I think I glanced and I see a few people mentioning how cold it is in different places. So I got some on that pulled up. So let's see what's up. Schools closed as Arctic blast slams south with snow. Over 1,900 flights canceled.
You know, millions are waking up this morning facing potentially life-threatening cold. The Arctic chill hitting the plains to the Midwest, even parts of the South, seeing wind chills below zero. Alex Perez is in frigid Chicago. I don't have to tell you, what is it, minus 31 with the wind chill right now?
Yeah, Robin, this
global warming my asshole. God damn it, that's how you know climate change ain't real.
brutal deep freeze moving in over the weekend. The air is so cold you can probably see some.
Man, Chicago, man, I was just talking about this. Because they in Chicago, -10 wind chill, -30. I was just talking about this. Man, it be cold in Chicago. Cold as shit in Chicago. I used to be in Chicago all the time because, as y'all know, or maybe some of you don't, I'm born and raised in St. Louis. I live in New Jersey now. But, Chicago is just a 5-hour straight shot up the highway from St. Louis. Man, but that freshwater lake, man, it'd be cold in Chicago.
Some of the steam rising from the buildings behind me here. This Arctic cold can be very dangerous.
This morning, nearly the entire continental U.S. engulfed by Arctic air and winter storms. Whiteout conditions pummeling Buffalo.
Damn, Daddy.
Overnight, residents seen desperately digging out cars. New York Governor Kathy Hochul declaring a state of emergency. A travel ban extended into some areas after scenes like this. This video inside Highmark Stadium showing what kickoff conditions would have looked like if the Bills-Steelers wildcard game had not been postponed.
Man, motherfuckers would have froze to death out there. They wouldn't have been able to see nothing.
The snow bands are staying longer, they're broader, and also we're now seeing in real time 4 to 5, possibly 6 inches an hour in the South towns in particular.
Up to 2 feet of snow already on the ground, fans answering the call to come help shovel out the stadium ahead of today's rescheduled game. In the Midwest, heavy snow and now bone-chilling temperatures wreaking havoc, while in Colorado, an avalanche crashing down, these cars buried but no injuries reported. Even the South targeted by that heavy snow and ice. In Texas, the company operating the state's electric grid asking customers to conserve power. More than 1,400 flights already canceled this morning. In Des Moines, Iowa, a wind chill of 36 below zero. Our team briefly stuck on the ground due to frozen equipment.
What? -36. Man, it's not. I'm in New Jersey. It's cold. It's definitely cold outside. I went outside earlier to grab some. I ordered groceries earlier. Man, I opened that door. I was like, ooh, it's cold for real. I don't even know what's the temp here right now, but it's not snowing and shit.
Crews only able to help one plane at a time. Over the weekend, the winter blast whipping up waves from the shores of Michigan to the coast of New England.
And when it is this,
it's 29 degrees here, which is pretty cold, but not no damn -10. And what y'all talking about, I see y'all in the chat.
Cold frostbite can begin to set on exposed skin in just 5 minutes. And not so great news, much of this bitter cold is staying with much of the country for most of the week. Gio?
All right, Alex, thank you for braving the cold for us. Stay warm.
As far as I can tell right now, it's not snowing where I'm at, but it's definitely cold enough for the snow to stick. What did it say? Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Alabama have already gotten 4 to 6 inches of snow, and they don't really have much of an infrastructure to deal with stuff like that. The same way that, like, a place like the Northeast would, or further up north would, like they got salt trucks ready to go by the masses, but it's not. It's definitely worse out there. And this is what happened. This is how Ted Cruz got his nickname Cancun Cruz, because I remember when this happened in Texas, he was like, no. Oh yeah, I just seen you. What did it say? Des Moines, Iowa. That's where it was like, it was crazy cold, because Trump was like, if you're sick as a dog and you have to die, go ahead and go show up to the polls. He's like, even if you're sick as a dog, even if you have to freeze to death, show up to the polls. But Trump's definitely gonna trounce Iowa. But yeah, it's crazy cold in Iowa. Record cold settles into Texas. All right, hold on. Let's go over some of this. Okay, 18-wheeler turned over due to ice. Sheesh. Meanwhile, the heartland is seeing record low temperatures, all-time lows Monday in Sioux City, Iowa, Kansas City, Missouri, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Waco, Texas, Austin, Texas, and Dallas. Oh, Lord. Iowa. Damn. Okay, this is where we at up further. So we got up to 27 inches of snow fell just south of Buffalo, New York, with up to a foot of snow accumulating in the city. Damn. That's a lot of snow, bro. 27 inches of snow. But yeah, this is how my man's Ted Cruz got his name Cancun Cruz, because when it snowed in Texas, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gone, man." Which, speaking of Ted Cruz, he has a decent chance of losing, because it seems that much of the country is uniting to get him out of the Senate. When he's up, there's a variety of PACs that have been the Lose Cruz PAC. The Political Action Committee. There's a Lose Cruz PAC, and then there's a variety of people in Texas. Who are they? I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but there's a few people who have Ted Cruz. Let's get him the hell out of here. That's the point. Bottom line of what I'm getting at. Let's get Ted Cruz the fuck up out of here. All right, now let's see if oh yeah, this is interesting. Okay. I think this is Sununu, what he was talking about. Trump rages at guy on Fox News who just I think they was talking about Sununu, because Chris Sununu was like, even if Trump's convicted, I'm still gonna vote for him. So but that's not enough for Donald Trump. So let's see what happens.
Our next guest endorsed Nikki Haley, and she seems to be surging in New Hampshire.
Okay, yeah, this I guess was the interview that got him mad, and I think we saw some of this at whatever point recently, or I looked at it or something. It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday.
Catch Donald Trump and the Chris won't engage.
Right? Yeah, basically he said like I'd still vote for him, even if he's a convicted felon. Former President Donald Trump raged at an anti-Trump Republican he saw on Fox News the first thing in the morning. Oh, yep. First thing he get up. Who the hell is talking about me today? The posts usually take the form of text rants with copious use of all caps with exclamation points. What did he say? Let's get to the nitty gritty. Just watch the guy. Oh God, of course he said he be going on the longest rants ever, bro. 4 a.m. He said this at 4. Okay, hold on. We gonna just watch the guy. Hold on, let me make sure this is what he said. Okay. Just watch the guy on Fox News, of course, who ran for president but never had the guts to announce that he was doing so. He was polling so low, including in his state of New Hampshire, that he correctly took a pass on formally getting in.
He wouldn't have had a chance, and now he's politically dead. His name is Chris Sununu, and he is now very unpopular. He is now the very unpopular governor of New Hampshire who endorsed Nikki Birdbrain Haley, who is seldom able to beat crooked Joe Biden in the polls, and will never beat the Democrat Party in reality. Sununu is Chris Christie without the weight.
Chris Christie without the weight.
He does lots of television and just spews out false fact after false fact.
But not you. That's not what you do, though. That Chris Sununu does that, but not you. That boy Donald Trump be losing in trial, get his ass kicked in court. Then he walks out, and then he struts out.
Lie, 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 lie.
Of course, he just projects.
He knows Nikki is way down in her home state of South Carolina, just as he was to me in New Hampshire. She is an unwanted globalist who is weak on the border and will always be willing to obliterate Social Security and Medicare, while at the same time raising your taxes and endangering you already under siege Second Amendment. MAGA.
God. At this point, I can only do like one or two of those a day because, his rants be so long. He mad because Chris Sununu isn't endorsing him, but Chris Sununu still mentioned that he would vote for Donald Trump in the end. Like, bro, he's such a baby. Like, oh my God. But we know that. So there's really no need to, dive into a bunch of commentary on that. It was just fun to read. Okay, what is he talking about? What's the man talking about? The man himself. Maybe that's good. Trump says worst weather in Iowa's recorded history could benefit him in caucus.
Hello, Iowa. This is your favorite president, and we're going to make America great again. I'm leaving very shortly for your beautiful state. I love that state. I love the people in the state. I'll get there sometime around Saturday night or something. One way or the other, I'm getting there. You have the worst weather, I guess, in recorded history, but maybe that's good because our people are more committed than anybody else, so maybe it's actually a good thing for us. But we have to make sure we caucus on Monday, 6:30, get there a half hour before the 7 o'clock bell. And we're going to do something that's really special. We're going to start with you, and then we're going to turn our country around, and it's going to be amazing. And I'll get to see you on Sunday and Monday and maybe Saturday night late. It's going to be a little bit of a trek. Nobody knows how exactly we're going to get there, but we're going to figure it out, and we wouldn't miss it for anything. So we have record cold weather, record snowfall, record everything, but we will not miss it. So maybe Saturday night. We don't know what time. We have no idea, but we'll see you on Sunday. We'll see you on Monday. I'm going to be helping.
All right. There's a general get out the vote message. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy about that. All right. I'm interested to hold on. I'm just interested to see what's going to be said here. Let's see. MAGA pastor squirms after being confronted with God gave us Trump video. Y'all remember that video, God gave us Trump. I don't remember exactly what was said in the video, but it was ridiculous. And of course, Donald Trump retweeted it because he was like,
yes, God gave the world Donald Trump.
Made by a fan of his, and it has been criticized by some
matter of
for
fact,
having messianic
the video in here.
overtones. Here's part of it.
God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God gave us Trump. God said, I need...
Pastor Decker, your response to that, does it concern you at all?
Again, he didn't create it. I don't think that he thinks that. He posts lots of things, and I think he does it to troll people, honestly.
Can you imagine giving so many endless excuses for somebody, bro? Like, I mean, especially someone that you're not, like really, really personally linked to for real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like this dude even if he's helping him to campaign or whatever, it's like, oh well, he just trolls people. I know he posts a lot of stuff. Like, bro, he be posting like 50, 60, 75 posts in a day. Like, literally, like, that's not an exaggeration at all. Like, oh, he's just trolling people. Like, bro, he's like 78. He's about to be 78 years old.
Honestly, you get down inside, he is very clearly stated behind the scenes that he is he has the fear of God.
You get to the core of him, behind the scenes, and where no one can see it, and no one can verify my words right now. Behind the scenes, he's mentioned that he has the fear of God in him,
and wants, he's not there yet as far as I'm concerned. I would love to see him become and grow more of a conscience in a lot of areas, but I think he has a proven track record of being a good president, especially on abortion.
And quickly, Dr. Labinas, for you, any concerns about idolatry?
Yeah, and it's not so much about what President Trump does. It's the people who follow him. Yeah, there are some that are way over the top, that almost anything he would do, and of course he even said anything he would do, people would still support him. That's concerning to me, and it is getting close to the definition of idolatry.
I really appreciate this conversation to both of you.
Okay, whatever. Whatever, man. Okay, we already got that. We already got that. We just went over that already. I opened up a few of these twice, it looks like. All right, let's see what's up with this, because I'm curious. I am curious. Former President Donald Trump lashes back at Vivek Ramaswamy on seeing this social media post. What is going on? Okay. In a surprising turn of events, just 48 hours before the Iowa caucuses, former President Donald Trump launched a scathing attack on GOP rival Vivek Ramaswamy, asserting on social media that Ramaswamy is, quote, not MAGA, Make America Great Again, in case you forgot, per Politico. Trump and his campaign, increasingly exasperated, allege that Ramaswamy is resorting to deceptive campaign tactics. Why is he saying this? Because Ramaswamy is one of Donald Trump's biggest ass kissers. Taking the Truth Social, Trump accused Ramaswamy of veiling his support for the former president through deceptive campaign maneuvers. Trump stated, Vivek started his campaign as a great supporter, the best president in generations, etc. Unfortunately, now all he does is disguise his support in the form of deceitful campaign tricks. Trump warned voters not to be deceived, declaring a vote for Vivek is a vote for the other side. Don't be duped by this. Vote for Trump. Don't waste your vote. Vivek is not MAGA. The Biden well, looks like you definitely ain't gonna be his VP. Man, VP rolled himself out into the public for no damn reason. This dude was already a very seriously monetarily successful biotech entrepreneur, and it's like, well, you just trying to be popular, which, yes, that seems to be it. He's just trying to find some type of group that like praises him or gives him credit that he's never gotten, or not even credit, gives him like just social acknowledgement he's never gotten before. Vivek is more MAGA than Trump. Trump is the moderate. Vivek is the upgrade. Ooh. Oh, they want that upgrade. Upgrade you. Baby, let me upgrade you. And we got Ron DeSantis apparently making fun of the fact that happened to DeSantis. I mean, to Vivek. All right. He threw him under the bus. Ron DeSantis mocks Vivek Ramaswamy after Trump attacks.
You know, I noticed that they that he threw Vivek, he threw him under the bus. You know, it's like I've never seen a candidate run for an office and basically campaign for another candidate in the same race before, and that's what's happened. But the minute he wasn't useful, you know, they dropped the hammer on it. So that's just kind of the way they are. But look, we're going to go forward as a party. We can go forward in a way that's focused on people's issues, that's focused on a great agenda for America, or we can go forward with Trump, which will be focused, the 2024 election, on legal issues, on criminal trials, on convictions, on all these things with January 6th. And that gives the Democrats a huge advantage going forward. And I don't think that we want to do that. Why would we want to give them any advantage?
Well, you should have went harder against Trump from the get-go, but he doesn't have the swag like that. He doesn't have the juice in that way. But yes, indeed, the moment you are unuseful to Donald Trump, and it's not even the moment you're unuseful, because he could have still used Vivek. It's more like the moment Trump can throw you under the bus, he will. You know, that's really more what it's like. It's not like, oh, well,
I've used him up all that I can.
Again, it's more like, oh, I can throw you under the bus, so let me just go ahead and do it. And apparently, Ron DeSantis, he said that people are going to vote for him, even though they endorse Trump. But let's see what happens, because I don't particularly expect him to do that well in the primaries. Let's see what he has to say.
One of your supporters, one of the 5 House members who have supported you, endorsed your campaign, had this to say about why so many others have lined up behind Donald Trump. This is Thomas Massey, Congressman Thomas Massey. He said, I would say a good number of people who have endorsed Trump in Congress have done it because they genuinely want him to be president and prefer him. But a majority of them are scared of their own constituents, not necessarily scared of Trump.
Christina, thank you so much for all the 3 months and for all of the love and joy and happiness and positive uplifting energy that you continuously bring. And yes, my birthday is on the 31st. I will be 32 years old on the 31st, and I'm feeling good. Very busy, but productively busy. I feel blessed because I am blessed. And one of my biggest blessings is the community around me. You all really have been amazing. Thank you again.
But that he would rile up their constituents and that they might lose a primary. Is that what's going on? Because we are now seeing this stampede of elected Republican officials endorsing Donald Trump.
Well, you'll have to ask them. I mean, I can tell you this. I mean, I do know elected officials who encourage me to run and say they're going to vote for me in a primary, but yet have endorsed Donald Trump. That's just the reality of the situation. But here's the thing, what I would tell elected Republicans, when you stand up and you're delivering on conservative issues, Donald Trump's not going to be able to say you're bad if you've delivered on those issues. The voters are going to look at what you've done. I think Trump can be effective in a primary for people who are not delivering on conservative issues and who are going more wobbly or more left on things. But then that's always been the case, that people can be exposed in these primaries. So we're doing it. I've got guys like Chip Roy. I've got guys like Tom. I mean, these guys are out there. They're fighting the good fight. They've got a lot of incoming. But what we can't have as a party is that our movement is detached from the underlying principles and issues that we're trying to advocate on behalf of the American people. And I think Trump is trying to make it to where someone that kisses the ring, even if they're not faithful to the core conservative values, somehow they're a member in good standing just by doing that. Whereas a Chip Roy, who's fighting on all these conservative issues that all the Republican base has always wanted to do, but the fact that he's endorsed me and hasn't kissed the ring and somehow he's bad or he's somehow a rhino, that is what you don't want. You want it to be rooted in a larger principle and not an individual. And also, you got to hold people accountable. I mean, me as the nominee should be held accountable. Donald Trump, anybody. So we're doing it, I think, the right way. The people that are...
Shut up, Ron. that we got about as much as we need. You know what I'm saying? We got about as much as we need from Ron. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. What is this? Do we have a video? My nose. Oh, God. We're just going to skip. There's a whole video of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't, why? It's just her, what is it? It's her pushing the great replacement rhetoric and threatened Speaker Mike Johnson with ouster. Oh, God. Oh, I guess we can watch a little bit of it. I guess we can check a little bit of it out.
Of strong conservative Republican women, because he can't even face my words as I was about to speak to him. What a coward.
And that was House Oversight Committee member Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene calling out Hunter Biden in person during a hearing on holding the first son in contempt of Congress. That for not showing up for the closed-door deposition last month. Hunter, along with attorneys Abby Lowell and Hollywood lawyer Kevin Morris, instead showed up unannounced at the hearing on Wednesday, sitting in the gallery with the audience, listening to some of the proceedings before quickly leaving. With the House set to vote on whether to hold Hunter in contempt of Congress this week, Lowell appears to be changing his legal strategy, writing to House Republican leadership on Friday. Quote, if you issue a new proper subpoena now that there is a duly authorized impeachment inquiry, Mr. Biden will comply for a hearing or deposition.
This is a very serious crime, and we have evidence of that on our Oversight Committee through our investigation. And I was going to bring that up, and I think he knew it.
Let's get to the Mike Johnson.
Another thing that I found disturbing was his sugar daddy right there, Kevin Morris.
His sugar daddy, Kevin Moore.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, if in fact he agreed to another continuing resolution. Where are you on this?
No, I said that if he.
Oh shit! Congratulations, Mary. That's cool as hell. I'm gonna have to smoke your shit for sure. 100%, 100,000,000,000,000,000,000%. I'm smoking your bud. Congratulations. That's cool as hell.
Made that border deal where if he passes that Senate border deal or so-called border deal, it's really an amnesty deal where Democrats are going to bring in millions and millions of illegals and turn them into Democrat voters. That's their plan, is to replace Americans with millions and millions of illegal aliens. And it upset me so much that this is the deal that Republicans in the Senate are making. And they want to do this in exchange for $60 billion more for Ukraine. Maria, our country's broke. We're like a corporation on the verge of bankruptcy with $34 trillion in debt. The border crisis is a national security crisis that has Americans everywhere. It doesn't matter how they vote. Americans everywhere are sick and tired and fed up with it. And we could talk about the numbers and we could talk about all the things that produce daily outrage. But the real situation here is if the Republican Speaker of the House and any Republican or really anyone elected to serve in the United States Congress should be supporting, protecting America's national security interests, and they would never vote for that deal. And that's why I told Speaker Johnson, if he made that deal in exchange for $60 billion for Ukraine, I would vacate the chair, and I still stand by those words.
Well, he seems to be throwing cold water on the Lankford deal, but is this the best that your Senate Republican colleagues could come up with? The fact that one of the items in this says expulsion authority for a limited number of days only if border encounters exceed 5,000 a day over a 7-day period. So we're supposed to let in 5,000 illegal migrants before you even think about sending anybody back.
That's right, Marianne. And when you total that up, 365 days of the year, that adds up to 1.8 million illegal aliens that this Senate so-called border deal would let into the country. The problem in the Senate is the leadership. It comes from Mitch McConnell and those that hold the power over there. They've been the best.
Mitch McConnell ain't Republican enough. Not for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Possible senators for Joe Biden that you could ever expect to see out there. And I'm proud that Michael.
Man, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene have there's no real end goal. There's no real end destination. Like, she's just constantly like, she just always tripping. Like, you feel me? Like, cause she crazy for real. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy for real. Like, she got problems. She don't ever make no damn sense. Hold on, I gotta move this over here. All right. Trump rants about rat-infested, graffiti-infested shithole. Washington, D.C. threatens to take it away from the mayor.
I'm also going to indemnify all police officers and law enforcement officers throughout the United States to protect them from being destroyed by the radical left for taking strong action on crime. We're going to stop crime in our country. And we will take over the horribly run capital of our nation. Horribly run. We have a capital that we all love. Right now it's a rat-infested, graffiti-infested shithole where people are being killed. This week, 3 people were shot. People are being killed just for walking into a park, which is now littered with tents and homeless, and have to find places for them, but you cannot do that to our capital. And we're going to take it away from the mayor. And again, that doesn't make me popular there, but I have to say it. We have to run our capital incredibly. We have to take the graffiti off those magnificent statuary marble columns all over the city.
Magnificent statuary marble columns.
There's graffiti all over the columns in the Capitol.
Where they have swastikas printed on that, where they have the names of people, where they have hearts and people are in love and they write a heart. We're going to clean up our capital. We're going to knock out the slums. We have slums. We're going to move the people. And we're
remove the people. He said remove the people.
Our capital. We're going to knock out the slums. We have slums. We're going to move the people. And
just move them.
And we're going to have the most beautiful capital in the world. And it's so important to be able to do that because our capital right now, when people, can you imagine foreign dignitaries coming into our capital and looking? The last time I was there.
Okay. Okay. Whatever, man. All right, let's see what's up. It looks like a Republican probe finds 4,000 missing votes from Trump and Biden election that were taken from Biden. And yet another blow to former President Donald Trump Stalin. He put Stalin election narrative. Republicans have found 4,000 votes that were miscounted in Trump's favor and to President Joe Biden's detriment. President Biden defeated Donald Trump, including Republican officials in Georgia. Yet Trump still insists that he's increasing frequency of the 20. Yeah, he's still on that. Donald Trump's whole campaign is that he won in 2020 and that he, in fact, is a victim of all 91 felony counts. It's all bullshit. It's all BS. It's all fake. Well, there you go. But yes, we had he spelled it Stollen, but I mean, an accidental misspell is, that's light work. That's extra light work for Donald Trump. But listen, that concludes our Monday live stream. I'm going to get these clips up. And I got a lot of work to do, but I'm enjoying myself. Man, it is cold outside. It ain't snowing like crazy, at least where I'm at right now. But shit, some of what we talked about today. What was it? Chicago. I got a friend in Chicago. What was it? Des Moines, Iowa was like -36 wind chill or something. Chicago's just -10 degrees. Like it's going crazy out here. So y'all stay safe in the cold. But everything's going well. I'm very busy, so sometimes I don't get to this and that. Some things are running a bit slower, but overall, everything is really growing and things are going well. So I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love. And we're going to keep this train rolling. And I will see you.